Ready to master the art of influence with psychological tactics that few dare to use? Let's dive into psychological tactics to influence anyone. Influence is the ability to shape people's thoughts, emotions, and actions. It's a crucial skill for anyone looking to dominate their field, build powerful connections, or achieve personal goals. But what makes influence so powerful? According to Robert Cialdini, author of Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion, the key to successful leadership today is influence, not authority. Influence allows you to guide others subtly and effectively, often without them even realizing it. Think about it. Everyday decisions, from the products we buy to the ideas we support, are often driven by the influence of others. Understanding and mastering the principles of influence can give you a significant edge in any situation. Let's dive into the first technique, the foot in the door technique. The foot in the door technique is a powerful method of influence that involves starting with a small request to increase the likelihood of compliance with a larger request later. This technique was extensively studied by Robert Cialdini in his book Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. The basic idea is simple. When someone agrees to a small request, they are more likely to agree to a larger one because they want to appear consistent with their previous behavior. This technique leverages the psychological principle of consistency. Step-by-step guide, start small. Begin with a small, easy-to-agree-to request that the person is likely to say yes to. Build trust. Use this initial agreement to build rapport and trust. Make the bigger ask. Once the person has agreed to the small request, make your larger request, which now seems more reasonable in comparison. Example: if you're trying to get a colleague to take on a big project, start by asking them to help with a small task related to the project. Once they agree and invest some effort, they are more likely to commit to the larger project. Little-known tip. This technique is even more effective when the initial request is something the person feels positive about or aligns with their self-image. Forbidden Secret used this technique to gradually push boundaries and gain more significant favors over time. Start with harmless requests and slowly escalate to larger, more impactful ones. For instance, in a negotiation, begin by asking for minor concessions and build up to major ones. This method subtly shifts the balance of power in your favor. By mastering the foot-in-the-door technique, you can effectively influence others and guide their actions toward your desired outcomes. Now let's move on to our next tactic, the reciprocity principle. The reciprocity principle is a powerful influence technique rooted in the idea that people feel obligated to return favors. This concept is extensively explored by Robert Cialdini in Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. Reciprocity creates a sense of indebtedness, prompting people to reciprocate actions, gifts, or favors. When you do something for someone, they often feel compelled to return the favor, creating a cycle of mutual benefit. Step-by-step guide. Offer a favor. Start by offering something of value to the person you want to influence. This could be a small gift, helpful information, or assistance with a task. Create a sense of obligation. The person will likely feel grateful and indebted to you, making them more willing to comply with your future requests. Make your ask. After the initial favor, make your larger request. The person's sense of obligation will increase the likelihood of them saying yes. Example: if you want a colleague to support your idea in a meeting, offer to help them with a task or provide valuable information beforehand. When you later ask for their support, they will feel more inclined to give it. Little-known tip: offer something that has high perceived value but low actual cost to you. This maximizes the impact of the favor while minimizing your investment. Forbidden secret. Use small strategic favors to create a sense of debt and leverage it for larger gains. For instance, in a business setting, provide a potential client with free, valuable advice or a small service. Once they feel indebted, you can propose a more significant business deal. Their sense of obligation makes them more likely to agree. By mastering the reciprocity principle, you can create powerful dynamics of indebtedness and influence, making others more likely to comply with your requests. Next, let's explore another effective tactic: social proof and manipulation. Social proof is a psychological phenomenon where people look to the actions and behaviors of others to determine their own. Robert Cialdini discusses this extensively in Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. When people see others doing something, they are more likely to do it themselves, especially if those others are similar to them or are seen as successful. This technique can be incredibly powerful for influencing behavior and decisions. Step-by-step guide. Identify key influencers. Find individuals or groups that the person you want to influence looks up to or identifies with. Highlight similar behaviors. Showcase the actions of these key influencers in a way that aligns with your desired outcome. Create a bandwagon effect. Use examples and testimonials to create a sense of widespread acceptance or popularity of the behavior you want to promote. Example: if you're trying to convince someone to adopt a new technology, highlight how many of their peers or industry leaders are already using and benefiting from it. Use testimonials and case studies to reinforce the message. Little-known tip. Highlight the behavior of individuals who are similar to the person you are trying to influence. People are more likely to follow the actions of those they identify with. Forbidden secret. Fabricate or exaggerate social proof to manipulate decisions. Create false testimonials or stage events to give the illusion of consensus and popularity. For example, in marketing a product, you could use paid actors or bots to leave positive reviews and create fake success stories. This manufactured social proof can create a powerful perception of value and trustworthiness, prompting real potential customers to follow suit. By leveraging social proof, you can manipulate perceptions and behaviors, making it easier to influence decisions and actions. Now, let's move on to our next tactic, the authority effect. The authority effect is a powerful psychological principle where people are more likely to follow orders or suggestions from perceived authority figures. This concept is extensively explored by Robert Cialdini in Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. People tend to trust and obey those who appear knowledgeable and authoritative. Leveraging this effect can significantly boost your influence over others. Step-by-step guide, establish authority, position yourself or an ally as an expert in the relevant field. This can be done through titles, attire, or demonstrated knowledge. Use symbols of authority, utilize symbols such as uniforms, professional titles, or specific jargon to enhance perceived legitimacy. Communicate with confidence. Speak and act with confidence to reinforce your authority. People are more likely to follow those who exude certainty. Example: if you're leading a project team, introduce yourself with your credentials and past successes. Use confident, authoritative language and present yourself in a professional manner. Your team will be more likely to follow your directives. Little-known tip: use visual and verbal cues that convey authority, such as maintaining strong eye contact, using a firm handshake, and speaking in a clear, commanding voice. Forbidden secret. Exploit this principle by presenting yourself or an ally as an expert, even if you lack actual qualifications. Create an illusion of authority by fabricating credentials or using deceptive symbols of expertise. For instance, in a negotiation, you could falsely claim extensive experience or expertise in the subject matter to sway the other party's decisions. The perceived authority can make others more compliant and less likely to question your directives. By mastering the authority effect, you can significantly enhance your influence and control over others, making them more likely to follow your lead without resistance. Now, let's check into a real-life example of how these psychological tactics have been used manipulatively to achieve significant influence. The story of Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff was a former chairman of Nasdaq and ran one of the largest Ponzi schemes in history. He managed to deceive thousands of investors, including prominent individuals and institutions, by using a combination of the psychological tactics we've discussed. Key takeaways: the authority effect. Madoff established himself as a financial authority. His position as a former Nasdaq chairman and his perceived success in the financial industry gave him an air of credibility and trustworthiness. He used his status and confident demeanor to assure investors of his expertise, making them less likely to question his operations. Social proof and manipulation. Madoff leveraged social proof by showcasing the high-profile investors and institutions that trusted him. He used testimonials and endorsements from respected individuals to build his reputation. He fabricated success stories and exaggerated returns to create a bandwagon effect, convincing more people to invest based on the perceived popularity and success of his fund. Reciprocity principle. Madoff used small, strategic favors to create a sense of debt. He often provided valuable advice and exclusive opportunities to potential investors, making them feel obliged to reciprocate by investing with him. This sense of indebtedness made it easier for him to secure large investments over time. Foot-in-the-door technique. Madoff started by asking for small investments and delivering consistent returns. This initial success built trust and rapport, encouraging investors to commit larger sums. By gradually increasing the investment amounts, he maintained investor confidence and continued to attract substantial funds. Forbidden secret. Madoff's manipulation extended to his close-knit social circles, where he used personal relationships to gain trust and influence. His ability to blend genuine social connections with ruthless manipulation enabled him to maintain his scheme for decades. Bernie Madoff's story demonstrates the incredible power of psychological tactics when used manipulatively. While his actions were unethical and resulted in devastating consequences for many, they highlight the effectiveness of these techniques in achieving significant influence and control. By understanding how these tactics can be used for both good and ill, you can better recognize and defend against manipulation while leveraging these strategies to achieve your own goals. Now that we've covered these powerful psychological tactics, it's time to put them into action. Here's a step-by-step 5-day plan to help you start using these strategies to influence and dominate in any situation. This is your path to power. Day 1. Start with small, strategic requests. The goal is to build initial trust and rapport. Identify a colleague or client you want to influence. Make a small, non-threatening request that they are likely to agree to. For example, ask for their opinion on a minor project detail or help with a small task. Thank them sincerely and acknowledge their help to build a positive connection. Day 2. Offer valuable favors. The goal here is to create a sense of indebtedness and obligation. Offer a valuable favor or piece of advice to the same person you made the small request to on day 1. Ensure it is something they perceive as valuable but costs you little. Example: share an industry insight, provide useful feedback on their work, or help them with a task. Emphasize that you are happy to help, reinforcing their sense of gratitude. Day 3. Leverage social proof. The goal is to build credibility and influence through perceived popularity. Collect testimonials, success stories, or examples that support the behavior or action you want the person to take. Share these stories in a casual conversation or through a well-crafted email, highlighting how others, preferably similar to your target, are already benefiting from the behavior. Example: I noticed that many of our top performers are using this strategy to improve their productivity. Day 4. Establish your authority. The goal is to enhance your perceived legitimacy and control. Position yourself as an expert by showcasing your credentials, experience, and past successes. Use confident body language, maintain strong eye contact, and speak with authority in meetings or discussions. Example: start a meeting with, as someone who has managed multiple successful projects in this area, I'd like to share some insights. Day 5. Practice mirroring and reciprocate. The goal is to build a deeper connection and further solidify influence. During interactions, subtly mimic the body language, tone and speech patterns of the person you're engaging with. This creates a subconscious rapport. Reciprocate their communication style and energy level. Example, if they are enthusiastic and speak quickly, match their energy. If they are calm and deliberate, slow your pace to match theirs. Bonus tip, use mirror affirmations. The goal is to reinforce your confidence and goals. Each morning, stand in front of a mirror and repeat positive affirmations related to your goals and influence. Maintain strong eye contact with yourself to deepen the emotional connection. Example, I am a powerful and influential leader. My words and actions command respect and inspire others. Example affirmations, I am a master of influence and persuasion. I effortlessly build trust and rapport with everyone I meet. I am confident and authoritative in all my interactions. By following this 5-day action plan, you will start to see significant improvements in your ability to influence and control your environment. Remember, these techniques are powerful tools. If you found this video valuable, hit the like button and share it with others who might benefit from these dark secrets. Don't forget to subscribe to Forbidden Power Secrets and click the notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. How have you used these techniques in your own life? What challenges have you faced and how did you overcome them? Stay tuned for our next video where we'll delve into mastering covert manipulation techniques. You won't want to miss the dark secrets we'll be revealing.